Day 3, 31st of March, Exploration. After 2 days of experience in Japan, we finally got around to getting up on time. Well, almost. The late member always seems to be able to find a way to be late. Anyways, today we're taking it slower. I started my day with visiting a nearby budget supermarket named Fresco. The things there were considerably cheaper than that of convenience stores. Our first location is the famous Arashiyama bamboo forest. We took several trains which the Kansai through pass covered. With the last train transit being the most scenic, there were beautiful cherry blossoms along the way. When we arrived, which was around 10 a.m., it was already packed with people. There were a lot of shops next to the station area. Street food stores like dim sum, souvenir shops, and specialty stores. We walked along the river as we didn't know which direction the bamboo forest was with the huge crowds there. But the riverside was very nice with less people and very scenic. Along the way we enjoyed the forest, which had both bamboos and cherry blossoms. Though as we entered the forest more, the crowds got bigger until we reached the main bamboo area where crowds were the largest. After taking some footage and photos, we passed an old man selling postcards, which he said he drew. Later on, we found out that this old man was actually a fairly famous person that is only selling these postcards as a hobby. He's actually a doctor as well as a lawyer. After a little rest, we left Arashiyama to head to Toei Studio Park by trains. The Randen line we took for 5 stations before arriving at Uzumasa Kyoryuji Station. That's a mouthful. Took around 20 minutes and another 10 minutes walk before arriving. There, we first had our lunch before we met some ninjas, saw a ninja show, got excited over a 20 seconds ultra simple ride on the Evangelion, saw plenty of weapons for sale, and we found out later that the restaurant inside of the park was less costly than the one we went to that was next to the park's entrance. Also, there were experiences there that would have made the visit more fun, but since we got there late, some of them were no longer available. One of the lessons I've learned from this trip is to keep each day less packed. If I knew this in advance, I would try to keep each day to only one place to visit with a maximum of shopping and dining in another area after 5 p.m. Though a lot of places are closed after 5 p.m. unless you're visiting shopping centers or major shopping areas. After the Toei Studio Park, our plan was to visit the traditional shopping streets in the Hanamikoji Street. But somehow we ended up in the Yasaka Shrine due to a number of reasons. Firstly, the Hanamikoji Street area was ultra crowded. There was no way I could have gotten clear and nice footage of the area. Secondly, there were food stalls inside of Yasaka Shrine and our stomach was calling us by then. Along the way from the bus stop to the shrine, we had taiyaki, which is the fish-shaped pastry with sweet fillings, as well as seeing many interesting things. Another thing I've learned in my trip in Kansai is that every few shops on your journey, there is something new and interesting. There just isn't enough time to explore everything. As we entered the shrine area, there were plenty of food to try out. There, we had cheese-filled coins which was very filling. The cheese stretched beyond anything I've ever seen and is a must-try for cheese lovers. We then sat down to have something to drink, as it had been a long and tiring day. But by then, my camera's battery was also as dead as we were, and my phone's battery was also running out, so I wasn't able to take more footage to show the curry udon we had and the bus trip back to the hotel. If you want to find out about our little trip to Kobe following this last Kyoto day, please like, subscribe, and turn on the notification to see what interesting things we found on the trip to Kobe. Thanks for watching.